Hi, this is 72 Daystar, or aka Jake. I'm going to address the issue today of teaching English in South Korea. Maybe you've just recently finished university and you have a huge student loan you've got to repay, or maybe you're in transition uh, between jobs. Either way, it may look tempting to come over to Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, and other countries as well in order to make a living, or just for the sake of adventure. Here are some things I wrote down that I thought you should consider if you have that in mind. Well, first decision is, are you going to work through a recruiter, or are you going to go it on your own? That is, search through different internet job sites and look for a job yourself. Either way, you should check the reputation of both the recruiter and the place you're going to work. You can find information through forums. Dave's ESL is obviously the biggest and most robust. Other concerns. Ask the employer to speak to other people who work there. Even more than one. At least get contact information for more than one and then choose one of them to talk to. Ask about the atmosphere at work. Ask about whether they're going to be paid reliably. Ask about what's the atmosphere at work? How do people get along with each other? If there's only 5 or 6 foreign teachers there, usually they hang together pretty tightly. If you get up over 10, well, cliques are inevitable at that point. Here's some more or another concern I thought of. If they don't have any foreign teachers, that's probably not a good gig. I have heard people who are the first foreign teacher in language school and they had a great experience, but that's pretty rare. Mostly, if they're just starting as Korean employers of foreigners, they've got there's a steep learning curve and bad things can happen. My third point, you're going to need a criminal background check in order to work in South Korea, and you're going to need a medical check. Look for details on SearchStage. You can find that there. Um, Here's some things personally. When I used to recruit for my school that I worked in, and I used to do the recruiting, and some things that I used to always ask them: do you have a partner? Do you have a girlfriend, boyfriend? Distance relationships are very difficult to maintain, so you should think long and hard before you take this plunge into teaching and moving overseas. If you can, take your girlfriend, boyfriend with you. You'll need a 4-year degree, maybe 3 years. I'm not sure. Should check into that. Are you a vegetarian? Vegetarians have a terrible time in South Korea because although in Korean cuisine there isn't a lot of meat, they put a little meat in everything. Even their kimchi sometimes will have fish oil in it, and I had a vegetarian friend who used to get terribly sick. And the cuisine, it's spicy, and if you don't like spicy food, it's going to be tough. You're going to have to learn to cook for yourself. You're not going to have an oven available, not likely anyways. And it's going to make life all that much tougher. If you're homosexual, speaking frankly, if you're homosexual, Seoul is doable. Maybe some of the big cities, I don't know. But small cities, it's a tough goal. It wasn't that many years ago that I had a Korean tell me that, oh, homosexuality doesn't exist in Korea. That's just those foreign countries where that happens. So that's the sort of mentality you're going to encounter here. Um, Also, your personal style, being able to adapt to a different culture there are a lot of challenges. If your personal style, when your boss does something that you don't like, is this, you immediately go right for the problem and confront them with it. That can lead to no end of problems in South Korea. What works for me, I stand my ground. I've made decisions about what I will and will not put up with, but when I approach my boss about those concerns, I do it in a very polite and respectful way. And I try, like the Koreans, to avoid the confrontation. Okay? That works for me. Other people. of different ways. Near the end here, the upside, most Koreans are great. They're super friendly. They're very open. They're hardworking. And if you reciprocate with being kind and generous and hardworking, they can be very endearing. The kids are great. That's what I would recommend for your first gig. Ages 8 to 12. Preschool is tough. Takes a special person to do that. 8 to 12 is the easiest. Middle school, high school, very tough because you will be getting those students after a very, very long day. They start early in the morning, and they could be studying as late as 10, 11 o'clock at night. And you get them when they're exhausted and they don't want to study. It's tough. Last point, some people might disagree with me about that. A lot of people like advanced classes with adults, but usually, unless you have some teaching credentials, it's difficult to get those gigs. There are lots of other positive things about Korea. I just wanted to put forward, first and foremost, the concerns for someone who's considering working here. So it'd be great if I could have some people add some comments below, contradict me. That's fine. Add some things. That's fine. Okay. Cheers.